What is up, guys? PureSalvation here, and today I am going to be doing a continuation off of my series of quick scoping private matches. In this series, I'll be basing my gameplay heavily off of quick scoping and private matches, of course, and I'll be showing you guys tips and tricks, and this will basically be a tutorial series on what to do when quick scoping. Now, last video I touched on drag sniping and sensitivities. To continue where I left off was in drag scoping, in drag sniping, it is a great way to get started. You scope in, but not on the enemy target, and when you do see a target, you swipe your crosshairs across the screen and across the target, and you pull the trigger. Now, usually you're going to hit the target if you have good precision, I guess, but the nice thing about it is that you have leeway and have some room to pull the trigger. So instead of shooting or pulling the trigger right exactly on the target, you can pull it maybe a little bit earlier or a little bit later. Well, not really later, but a little bit earlier, and it should connect with the target, which is great and usually works well when you have bad connection, maybe 3 or 2 bars. And in that case, I recommend not sniping or quick scoping, because you're just going to get shot down and it's just going to be frustrating. Now, this is a long time ago. All these videos have been a long time, have spent a long time in my hard drive, so I'm going to have to really go through these videos quickly and upload them since it's the summer, so I have time. In one of my videos, I say I'm a couple months behind, or a lot of my videos, and that's true. And I do have a lot of footage ready for you guys, but actually, now that I think about it, most of those videos are from my montages. And a really quick update, I am working on another intervention montage, so you guys can really look forward to that. That should be coming up in the next week or two. Anyways, back to the gameplay. Now, what you see me do is, I'm not really drag sniping right here, and it's harder when you have to get right on the dot, but sometimes you will see me drag snipe and you'll see that it is helpful. Now, right there, I didn't exactly shoot my target, but my connection just, it lagged on me or a little bit. My connection wasn't the best, and I guess my shots were connecting when I wasn't actually aiming at the target, and my shots weren't connecting and the bullets were going through the target. So, that's a little effect or a result of sniping or quick scoping that you just got to deal with, and we can live through it. So yeah, just make sure you know that. So what you see me do is I like to get on elevated grounds sometimes, but that's not always the best case, because although you might have a good vantage point, you are exposing yourself from guys who are in well covered areas that you see a lot in games. So actually, I don't recommend going on elevated areas unless you know you have good cover to hide behind when you're getting shot at. And the worst part is in high rise is when you get on the helicopter pad and you shoot and you give away your position, you can have a bunch of people coming after you, and it's just going to be miserable trying to get out, because basically you've trapped yourself, and guys will be coming all around you to get paybacks or just try to get a kill off of you, because now they know where you are and you've made yourself open. Now, quick scoping in itself is definitely based on perks as well. Now, I like to use sleight of hand because when I run out of ammo, I need to be able to reload fast. And the best part is that when you get quick sleight of hand pro, you aim down the sight faster, and that does help with quick scoping. If you don't have sleight of hand, you can still quick scope. It's just going to be a little bit more precise, and it might work better if you have a higher sensitivity. Now, touching back on sensitivity, for people who have high sensitivities, sleight of hand is sort of optional. You don't have to have it, but it is recommended. Stopping power is a must. Unless you're doing private matches where the health is half or minuscule, you must have stopping power, because if you guys haven't noticed, or if you guys don't know, the power on the intervention has been dulled down, and so people are having a little bit harder times quickscoping now that you get more hit markers a lot, and it's a little frustrating. And if you actually notice in this gameplay, everybody's using a Barrett 50 cal except for me. Now, this was a handicap that I gave them because I wanted to see if I could pull it off or pull off a win. And I kind of don't think it's fair for them too, because they aren't as experienced in quickscoping. Not to offend anybody, not at all. These guys are great at everything else they do. It's just that I think I had an upper hand advantage on these guys, especially in quickscoping, just because I feel more comfortable in it. You guys will rarely ever see me do a no scope, and that's sometimes how I die a lot, because when I'm at point blank range trying to kill the target, I will keep quick scoping, and my enemies will no scope, or my friends will no scope in a private match, and they'll kill me. Now, I made that as a little vow to myself that I would try as hard as I can not to no scope, but occasionally you will see me no scope, and it just goes to show how much easier it is to kill somebody when you no scope at point blank versus quick scoping at point blank. That's another reason why I don't always win my point blank battles, but a good way to counter that is to play to your advantage, and that's definitely keeping a good distance away for you to scope in and get a pretty precise target on, a pretty precise precision or aim on the target. Now, I like to keep a little shorter to medium to shorter distance between me and my enemies, because that gives me just enough time to aim in and scope the enemy and make it a big enough target where I don't have to scope too hard, I guess, and it just makes it easier on my life. So yeah, that's a move that I highly recommend, is work towards your preferences and use your environment and play to your advantages, because that's definitely going to be the telltale of who lives and who dies. Now you see right here, me and my friend, we're in like a point blank, very very close to point blank range combat, and he's got a Barrett 50 cal and he's no scoping, and I've got an intervention and he's snipe and I'm quick scoping. And so usually you're gonna see me lose all those fights, like I just did again right there. And I don't recommend that you guys put handicaps on yourselves like I did. If you guys have to no scope, then no scope, because no scoping at point blank is so much more easier than quick scoping at point blank. And I have actually another video of free for all private matches quick scoping, where I do no scope maybe 2 or 3 times point blank, and I get a kill every single time. So don't hinder yourself and prevent yourself from using that advantage to help you kill the enemy, because it does help and it is recommended if you have to. Now that's just me. I just don't like to use that. I just think it doesn't show too much skill. And right there, I go into final stand, and I forgot to change my death streaks. So I played it fair, and I completely stood still for the enemy to finish me up. And that was a little bit irrelevant, but I'm going to explain why private matches are so important, because when you want to quickscope. Because when you are not used to quickscoping, you get on online, your reflexes aren't as good as if they were when you were practicing in a private match. Because after we did this for a little while, and we did a couple games, and I filmed them, we did some online, and my precision was much better, just because I was practicing much more with the intervention. And it's a great way, I think, just to get a hold of this and just try it out on your own. Now, we are getting to the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to have to end this right now.